Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to talk about financial do-overs and escaping poverty. A lot of millennials, particularly millennials like me who grew up in single parent families, disabled parent, not a lot of financial resources and things like that. I feel like we've been kind of greatly done a disservice in the sense of being taught that getting an education, particularly financing an education through student loans, was an investment to help escape poverty, and also not really getting accurate, legitimate financial education in regards to credit and wealth building. As it stands right now, I have about $72,000 to $73,000 in student loan debt, as well as a significant amount of consumer debt, which was greatly influenced by my financing a vehicle when I was working, because I was working about 12 miles away from where I lived at, early hours where I felt I needed a car because, transit and things like that were just as expensive as having a car. So I just got a car. But in reality, a lot of times we, particularly those who grew up impoverished or financially challenged, whatever you want to call it, we see people around us, or we see news and media that influences our decisions to make us think or believe that obtaining, wealth or success is contingent upon your credit score or getting an education by any means necessary. My mother didn't have money to finance my education. She was disabled. She hadn't worked in so many years. She was divorced. No financial support from my father, so, and some, but not much from our family, which you can't really expect people to, finance your life like that. But, raising 3 kids is expensive. So, I always felt like, once I was of age to go to school, I was like, if I go to college, I'll invest in my future, and, get a job, be able to make money so I can change the trajectory of my family's wealth. That was not the case. I went into the culinary field, which, as with any career field, it's really about who you know and your experience and skill level, but more so about like who you know and what opportunities you can take advantage of. And so, in working in the culinary industry, like within the last 10 years, things have changed. My lifestyle has changed. My expectations have changed. My needs have changed. And there's a lot of things I wish I had done. Even with getting my, my basic degrees, my associate's and my bachelor's degrees, I wish there were other little things that I had known to do sooner, or prepared for, various, not options, but various possibilities of what my future could look like. Because, we were sold this dream of the college experience and, getting a job, this, that, and the other. But our economy is not in a position to support all of these college graduates and new hires and potential employees. So many of us have graduated in various fields where, jobs are not readily available And the ones that are not compensating us to accommodate for the student loan debt that many of us have incurred. So, and that's where I found myself in. I never really did research on how much I could expect to make in my field. I never really looked at how much the programs cost that I was enrolling in. I just wanted to go to college. I just know I needed to get away from, the challenges I was experiencing at home and things like that. So in a way, it was like a way for me to escape. And I thought I was doing the right thing, but there were other options that I didn't know of until now, which is like 10 years later, 3-4 years later, that I could have taken advantage of. One thing I will say to anyone who is coming from a home that's financial status is like below the poverty line, or anyone whose family who has a negative net worth, and you're coming of age and you're looking at your options, I will say to you right now, do not get a credit card. Do not sign up for store credit cards, major credit cards, things like that. That's not our key to financial success, wealth building. I'm not going to say it doesn't work for people, because clearly it does and it has, but those instances are so rare. And in reality, the cycle of poverty is perpetuated because people who are low income and poverty are debt slaves to various lenders and credit card companies. So you're kind of on a hamster wheel, in the sense where as soon as you feel like you're doing financial work, you feel like you're earning, you're paying your bills, but you're steady getting behind. So any young person, if you can try to find a way to, save your money. I know that, we live in a culture where, living young, wild, and free is very appealing. But in order to change the trajectory in the long term of your life, you don't want to be 30, 35 in significant debt, living paycheck to paycheck, things like that. Nobody should have to live like that. No one wants to live like that. Your best chance is to, work, save your money. If you watch my previous video, Things I Wish I Knew Before Going to College, I talk about different education options, different ways to prepare yourself to be able to earn money and to support yourself financially, independent of, anyone, family or partners or spouses or anything. You should want it. It helps to be able to, I'm not going to say you should, but I'm going to say it helps to be able to take care of yourself by yourself. It's nice to have partners, but in the position I'm in, it would greatly change my life if I had the income to solely support myself and be able to save money and invest money. What was the next point? I'm sorry, guys. So like a financial do-over. If you are a kid who, works summers and saves up their money, things like that, if you are saving for your education or for a rainy day, or you're not sure what to do with the money that you do have, provided that your needs are met. So if you're one who has to purchase your shoes and clothes for school, make sure that you're making financially wise decisions as far as the sourcing of those items, whatever items you need to meet your basic needs. provided that you're not supporting your family as far as like rent and bills and things. If you're fortunate enough to be able to have your own money and keep your own money in that sense, you should look into investing, look into, ways to let your money build and grow and work for you. I'll include a link in the description box for a book called Brass Knuckle Finance Investing School, Brass Knuckle Finance, Do College Smarter. Just, don't be discouraged. Also, if there's any questions you guys may have about my experience or anything, I would recommend, like I said before, you could watch the previous video about things I wish I knew before I went to college. And just to get a better understanding of what your options are. Because like I said again, credit is not the ticket out of poverty. If you grew up struggling, watching your parents struggle, watching your mother struggle, seeing, what you don't want for your life, just know that there is a way to reach those goals. And when I say goals, I'm not talking about being like rich and famous or anything like that. I'm talking about being able to live financially secure and comfortable and to have some money in the bank. So, just, be aware, be cognizant, make, educated, wise decisions. If you're looking into, going to college, find out how much you expect to make find out what the expected annual salary is for whatever field that you're looking into. Find out how much the program costs at your school and shop around and compare it to other schools. See if, a junior college, I have to sneeze. See if a junior college or a trade school or some program can offer you certifications in whatever you're looking to do, so that you don't have to, borrow or spend excess amounts of money to obtain something that you can get for less money. I'm not going to say cheaper, less expensive, but, and don't borrow. And it's funny because I saw where, he said, don't borrow more than you expect to make your first year out of college, or like the first, your annual salary, expected annual salary. I don't know any person, personally, I don't know any person working one single job making $73,000 a year. If they are, they have not revealed that to me, and they are more than likely not in my field. None of my friends or classmates that I knew in school, as far as I know, none of them are making that kind of money. So, not to say that it's impossible. There are chefs and culinary professionals who do make that amount of money. I do know someone who's a food and beverage manager that, makes about, I think, $90,000 a year or something like that. But, I don't know that to be for sure. That's just something I heard. But, just try to, I'm going to stop saying, just try to research and learn as much as you can to help you make the best decision for your future. And do not be pressured or scared into doing anything that you don't want to do or that you don't know for sure is the right decision. Pray, meditate, study on whatever it is, and the answer and the decision will come. And if you feel right about it, then more than likely it's the best option. I will say that I was never 100% sure that the decisions I was making as far as employment opportunities or education-wise were going to be the best for me and the best for my personal situation. I started out my culinary education just wanting to get, real thorough skills and information on, the culinary field, being a chef. Once I transferred into my bachelor's program, I was, it was for nutrition, but I was introduced to the world of dietetics, and I was like, well, maybe that's an opportunity I can take advantage of to secure financial liberation for myself and my family. But, that's an expensive program. Dietetic internship is expensive. You have to pay to take the test, and now you have to have a master's degree. So that's even more money that I would have to pay to pursue a career as a registered dietitian. So, I'm reevaluating a lot of things and trying to come to the best consensus of what it is I need to do to secure that financial security and liberation that I need to progress in my life. I know that I did have the best intentions. I just wanted to get an education. I just wanted to better myself and things like that. But in retrospect, there were, like I said, other things that I could have done that I didn't know were options, and that no one, I don't know anyone who's debt free. I don't know anyone who does not have some type of credit card debt or who has not financed a car. And I don't know anyone with a significant net worth to the point where I could be like, okay, that's where I'm going in life. That's what I want for myself. So another thing, and I'll probably do another video about that, find someone who is where you want to be in the future. And I'm not talking about just rich and famous or just career-wise. Find someone who is, in a place where they're secure, they are fulfilled, they are happy, they are active, they are progressive, involved in their community in a sense of that, they participate, they make a difference in some type of way. Find positive role models for, where you want to be in 20, 30, 40 years. One of my goals is to not have to work after I'm 40 or 45 due to certain circumstances that have transpired. And with the knowledge I have now, it's going to take another 10 to 15 years to get to where I'm trying to be. I'm praying I can do it sooner. But hopefully, now I'm 28. So I'm looking at between ages 35 and 40 to be the years where things are winding up and I can, finally see, the fruits of my labor as far as changing my, financial habits and shifting the traditions and perspective that I grew up under. So be encouraged. Post any comments, questions you have in the bottom. Also, again, I said I'll put a link for the investing school, and like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at MoBettaBabe for all of my culinary excursions, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.